Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Titans of Altera, a 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons actual play podcast for gamers of all ages. I'm your host and Dungeon Master Joshua. Going around the table, we have...
Joan.
Delphin.
Winnie.
Relnor.
Awesome. The gang's all here. We're going to jump right into it. Holy moly cannoli was last episode roller coaster.
Him.
Dude. Oh, love it. Go.
So, right now, we're actually going to be jumping 2 days...
Boing.
into the future. We're doing a bit of a time jump. So I want to just kind of quick go around the table and kind of express where everybody's at. We've talked a little bit outside the game, but let's bring the audience up to speed on what you guys have been doing, what's been going on the last 2 days, kind of after this big kind of cataclysmic event within the city. Joan, you want to start us out? What have you been up to?
Oh, we're telling? I thought you were.
No, I'd rather you guys than me. But I can chime in and all that. But yeah.
Okay. Well, I was elected queen of the world.
Okay, so Joan died, everyone. It was really sad.
Ooh.
She became a goat forever.
Retaliation.
No, so you had your big kind of
Do you want me to? I can.
spirit quest.
Okay. So am I doing it or are you doing it?
You do it.
Oh, okay. Oh my gosh. So I awoke and Alora and Davi were very concerned and I told them what happened. And so they have been wanted to watch me. They think that there's something wrong and it's annoying, but they made me stay in the infirmary. My parents sent a potted plant. It's already dead.
And so just to clarify,
None of us are druids.
You're keeping the knowledge of your experience with the golem from the Gnome Island just inside the circle of you and Alora and Davi.
And the rest of the squad.
And the gang.
The rest of our party.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gotcha. And
They've come to visit me multiple times, which has been great.
Yeah.
But none of us are druids, like Aaron said. So that's why the potted plant died. The house plant is dead.
Nice. And you're staying in kind of a bit of a infirmary sounds so intense to me.
Well, that's the word that you used.
I don't know what you would call a regular hospital, like a...
Infirmary, yeah, it's fine.
Hospital sounds even more intense. They had an infirmary in Redwall.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's where it was.
Well, and
I like Redwall.
it's probably not it might not even be a hospital. Like, there's probably makeshift tents and buildings for all the injured people.
Yeah, it's a clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
There definitely are. The city, I guess I could probably set it up a little bit. The city has been in relief the last couple of days as ships are coming back to port from being kind of evacuated from the city.
A lot of relief efforts.
A lot of people are coming back to find their houses destroyed.
Thank God, I'm so relieved.
Loved ones lost and all this stuff. So it was a huge traumatic event that there's a lot of what would you call it? Aftermath.
Yeah.
And so
I hate math.
I would say though Joan isn't in a tent or something. She's in one of the actual official facilities that's run by a lot of the priests and clerics.
And I'm strapped to the bed.
So, what?
I'm joking.
No, you're just...
I'm being kept against my will.
No, there's a courtyard and you're not in
You're more humoring your mentors, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just being monitored to make sure
what else am I going to do?
Nothing else happens, yeah.
I don't want to rebuild things.
You also have a lot to process right now. You've learned a lot of, you've had a lot of experiences and been given a lot of information that's kind of rattled your world.
I have a high processing speed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's already there, man.
Okay, cool.
So, Delphin, what have you been up to after everything?
A good portion of the monks have been just helping with some of the relief efforts, such as building makeshift shelters for people that lost their homes, making food for people who need to be fed. You know what I mean? So he's been doing
running kitchens and stuff that.
little tiny nitty gritty, little jobs, just helping the society.
Cool.
All
right. Relnor, you're still in the military.
Yep.
And so the military, tell us a little about what the military's doing in the midst of all that's going on.
Rebuilding and recovery. And
I think you should mention Harris is still MIA.
Yep. High Captain Harris is still missing. And so mostly right now the military is working on rebuilding, repairing, recovering people that may have been trapped, just kind of all those sorts of things that you would have to do.
A lot of heavy lifting.
Yeah, after an emergency like this, making sure food stuff is getting out to people that need it and stuff like that.
And I should say there's quite a bit of military kind of built up within the city and around the city, just because after an attack like that, things can be kind of sketchy. You know what I mean?
So they're keeping order and also trying to make sure things go about as usual.
Yep. And in the wake of Captain Harris, no one knowing where he's at, Captain Pam, driver, has kind of taken over a lot of the logistical like managing of ships and missions and all that stuff, so that the city continues to operate like it should, while Captain Wheelia, this kind of older gnome female captain, she's leading up all of the relief efforts. So they're kind of acting as kind of like the two heads of the city.
I assume that these are two of the most respected captains out of the group.
Yes, and in truth, Wheelie has been highly respected for years. She has the most successful missions under her belt. She's got a lot of history. Captain Pam is more of she more just kind of like saw that no one was leading during the events of the attack and stepped up and led, and she's just kind of been operating in that out of just the vacuum that was there.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like everyone said, "Oh, Captain Pam should do this." It was like no one was
already doing it.
No one was grabbing the reins, so
Yeah.
she just grabbed the reins. Yeah,
And everyone else was like, she's doing a good job.
yeah. So they're having her keep doing that. Yeah. So the two of them are kind of coordinating together to make sure the city keeps operational. For the sake of Relnor, Wheelia does not like him, whereas like Pam is a captain that favors Relnor. Wheelia is a incredibly by the book person, and so the times that Relnor served under her didn't go as well as she would have liked. Probably not as well as Relnor would have liked either. Then last, but most certainly not least,
It's me!
is Winnie.
A girl without her orc.
Oh, man.
Oh, wow. I was not expecting that reaction.
We don't know what happened to Bordeaux and all that.
He's just not around right now.
He's still with me in spirit.
Nice.
I don't know.
Winnie, what have you been up to? You saved your parents.
Well, I mean, yeah, basically the evocation wizard saved me and my parents
That's
after
right.
I saved my parents.
No, but you know what?
So-
Don't undermine like how you kept them away from the monster
That's
for a
true.
long time.
It's true.
You were keeping them you were keeping their
That's
heads
true.
above water before the life jacket.
She was
came.
not about to take the monster on by herself.
Yeah, that's fair.
She did get him away.
She's not Dalphin, which was good.
Yeah.
So her parents have, in their generous ways, as usual, put a bunch of the neighborhood to paid work fixing up the shop for them.
Right on.
So she got her parents back home. They're doing that. She has headed back to Joan because she felt pretty bad that she like ditched Joan and Davi with Joan in some sort of weird fugue state and then just disappeared. So that's where she went afterwards.
Right on. And kind of keeping a low profile right now, just with everything that had gone on.
I mean, she's not in disguise anymore, but yeah, she's not like, hey, everyone, I'm back.
Do you want to explain the current situation with the evocation wizards that were previously
Yes.
captive?
So,
Because that's going to pertain to her situation.
yeah. So, I guess you guys would know probably through Relnor that Harris basically gave Eddie a letter during that big captain's meeting that you walked in on, I think episode 8. And he told her the letter was to recruit a bunch of abjurers to take the place of the evocation wizards in the meantime.
Oh, right.
But in truth, it was a release order for all of the evocation wizards, and basically in order to kick the inquisitors out. And so effectively, it breaks the Four Kingdoms Accord.
Committing a kind of treason between the four
Eric's head snaps up and he
Yes.
smiles.
So however,
the actual assassins. Is that what
yes,
you're? Yeah.
despite a lot of the kind of like bad, like there's no like they don't have any of the actual assassins.
Oh,
Yeah, there was Wilbert and
Galantis?
and Galantis.
Those are the only two
Those are the only
in that-
Lestraad.
Interesting. Okay,
There was a ton throughout the Four Kingdoms.
I didn't realize those were the only two in our area.
Yeah, me either.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah, those are the only two, and one got away and one was defeated. So
Yeah.
the
Wilbert got away.
Wilbur got away. We didn't know that.
I mean, nobody's seen him.
Okay.
Oh,
Like,
cool. I
So
thought he was in custody.
He's also.
you guys thought he was in custody?
Yeah.
I thought he was in custody too.
Oh
yeah.
no, man, he's in the winds.
Okay.
I should have made that more clear.
Okay.
Wait.
I thought the crew
He's
brought
just
him
flying
He's defying
in the
gravity.
wind.
like a turd in the wind. Like a
All
turd in
we
the wind.
are is turds in the wind.
Truer words.
Turder words.
Okay, so that's Winnie. She made it back to Joan.
Okay. So Winnie, you're
In
not
the
you're not,
times when Joan is bored, she goes to the temple with Alora and Davi.
okay. Does she go back to the candy shop at all to like check on everything there? Or?
Not really, since she's trying to lay low.
Okay.
So
Her
are you
folks know she's okay. She knows her folks are okay.
Okay.
Have you
so
been like reading up and like studying on the runes and stuff?
I mean, I don't know that she's found anything, but what else is she going to do with her time if she can't be
that's
out?
pretty cool.
Yeah, you
about,
can.
So
You've kind of been just going back and forth between a lot of the gray cleric places, gray kind of cleric and priest
Yep.
locations. Okay, so
Yep.
after everything happened on that day of the attack, I'm going to say that you guys kind of all came back together that night to check up on Joan. I think everyone wanted to get back together. And that's when, Joan, you would have told everyone kind of what happened to you. I just want to check and see between the four of you if you have some kind of game plan or what you guys have kind of expressed to each other. That because my thought is you guys get together that night, then you're all kind of separated to kind of take care of and do your stuff throughout the next 2 days.
I would probably communicate to Relnor that I am going to be helping with the relief effort with the monks, but as soon as our next mission is on, I'm good to go.
Okay.
Like I want to make sure the Relnor is I'm available to help him.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys do the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
so right now the ball's in Relnor's court as far
But-
as Dalphin's concerned.
But you all kind of basically communicate whatever the future holds. The four of you want to be sticking together.
I do,
And
yeah.
see this thing through.
Definitely.
Whatever
I think
it
there's
is.
a connection. I think we're all connected by the visions. I want to see it through.
Relnor, any thoughts?
That and I started to like
If I
everybody.
have to.
Love you too.
Okay.
He's so pleased by his apathy.
All right. So on the kind of evening of the second day after the attack, the whole city kind of like stops everything. All the shops close. All of the kind of like relief efforts are paused while everyone gets together kind of at dusk to basically send off all of the dead.
Yeah.
They've all kind of been like put in these little kind of like covered small wooden boats, and they're basically gonna send them out into the sea. Everyone's kind of all together. The different people are gathering. Let me roll a quick.
I'm wearing my black gi.
Winnie and Joan.
Yes.
I'm guessing you guys are together.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay, so you guys are some of the first to arrive.
Okay.
The gray priestesses are kind of coordinating the ceremony for the city and being led by Allura. So you guys are kind of, you're not helping because you were infirmed and
Okay.
You were infirmed.
Yeah. And
You've been infirmarized
and Winnie's hanging out with you because
Woo.
she's Winnie.
because of the information.
So I'm a hanging out kind of gal, I guess.
You guys arrive and people are starting to show up in different groups and masses. Different people are kind of showing up in different areas. There are some monks around several of the different monk, I'm going to call them caskets, like boat caskets that are being set. And then you see Dalphin with them kind of helping to prepare Brother Theodorix.
Putting bodies in boats.
I'm guessing Ricky's saying that, not Dalphin.
I'm sad.
I'm sad.
You said earlier you're wearing your black gi.
Black gi. Yeah.
Delphin or Ricky? Ricky or Delphin?
Which
one said it?
Let's find out. Hey.
Do you guys go over to him or do either of you approach Dalphin?
Well, I mean, he's in the middle of like a ceremonial thing,
Okay.
so
Yeah, I'm
no.
not gonna interrupt.
Okay.
I try and
Relnor.
catch his eye and I wave. If I catch his eye, do I catch his eye? Roll for it.
What are you rolling for?
Perception?
I go for it.
Odd. I catch your eye. Even I don't.
15.
Okay. He doesn't look at me.
focused.
Yeah,
I'm
he's
focused on the
he's
bods.
focused.
No, you said odd. I catch your eye.
No,
even
I said
don't.
even I catch your eye, odd
Tails, I
don't.
win. Heads, you
What?
lose.
So, Relnor,
need more caffeine.
you're let off early from a lot of the kind of more construction type work that you're doing.
Okay.
You're gonna probably arrive latest. The military will probably arrive like some of those military that were working will arrive somewhat later.
Okay.
But you arrive dressed. I'm assuming you're in your like finest
Dress blues. Yep.
dress blues. You see Winnie and Joan kind of standing to the side while people are starting to show up. Do you approach them or do you let them be as well? Or
Yeah. I'll hang on. Sorry, I had to take a breath.
You have two options. Yes.
Yeah, I'll approach them.
okay, you just walk up
You
to
just
them and
walk up
stand
and stand?
silently.
Breathe over their shoulder.
I was going to cough.
You were going to cough.
Last vestiges of the bronchitis.
Vegetarian.
I feel that.
Talking is really great today, guys.
Joan, Winnie.
Hey,
Relnor.
how's the last day or two been?
Oh well, we've been busy. A lot of work to be done.
Yeah, for sure. How's stuff with Captain Dub going?
Honestly, I'd prefer if somebody else was in charge, but at a time like this, I can put up with it for the moment.
She's a gnome.
A gnome.
Gnome though.
A gnome, though.
Oh.
She's a gnome.
It's not that I don't like her because she's a gnome. I just don't like her because
She's a bad person.
she doesn't ever see any room to stretch the rules or
Yeah.
call an audible, if you will.
Oh, what?
Football reference.
An ebook?
What's football?
All right, so
Dolphins here. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. Okay.
Everyone, it seems like everyone's starting to quiet down from their conversations as Allure kind of steps onto like a little hastily assembled platform kind of at the center of the beaches, and she steps up and kind of everyone's kind of quiet as they're kind of gathered around, and some of the boats have been kind of slowly floating off into the ocean, and she starts to speak. She says, "As a priestess of the Grey God, we learn very early that knowledge is valuable. And to acquire knowledge, there is a cost."
Joan's crying.
Yeah?
I like knowledge.
What we have all learned in the last several days is the price for knowing these wonderful people. The pain we feel at their loss speaks to the immeasurable value of their lives. And in remembering who they were and the lives they lived, we keep them with us. The dolphin.
He's crying, by the way, not laughing, just to clarify.
Go on. He's standing on the holding the finger to his forehead. And that's the most she says. And at the kind of those words, a lot of the ship wizards start to fire bolts
Shizards.
over the sky, and the sun is just starting to leave the horizon. It's more of like a dark blue horizon, and these bolts of fire just kind of all start firing out from different places along the beach, hitting the different wooden caskets and lighting them ablaze. And you just kind of see this really nice picture of a ton of lights, almost like a bunch of stars in the ocean as they slowly drift away. And Eddie walks up to Relnor. "I have a summons
From who?
from High Captain Harris."
You know where he is?
He's back.
Does anyone else know he's back?
It's being kept quiet, mostly. But he's requested that you and your team come to his office immediately.
We better go.
Okay, we'll come immediately. Joan, Winnie, I'm gonna grab Delphin, and we can go.
Just call him Dolphin.
She hands you the summons, and kind of kindly squeezes your shoulder a little bit, and then nods and walks off to be with some other people. You hear?
Is he still
You
crying?
hear a small
That's not
halfling
small.
crying in the distance.
When he walks up and pats him on the shoulder,
Hi, Woody.
and then she hugs him really big around his shoulders and squeezes.
Thanks. I needed that.
Thanks, I needed that.
Carrying bodies all day is hard.
Yeah.
Oh, gee.
That's okay. You can come with us instead of...
Oh, hey, Joan. How you feeling?
I'm fine. I've been fine the whole time.
So good.
Just humoring
Where are we going?
them.
Don't make too big of a deal out of it.
Okay.
We all look
Again,
expectantly
I reiterate.
and don't make too big of a deal.
For real,
Yeah. Fine.
we just got a summons. It sounds like High Captain Harris is back.
What? What?
You get a couple dirty looks from some of the mourners.
He's asked for all of us to go to him immediately. So let's.
Okay. I'm good. Yeah, I'll follow you.
Okay, let's go. We will proceed.
All right, so it's pretty quiet walk back. You guys get to the command building and are let in. Make your way up the stairs, and it's just empty. So you're able to. There's really nobody working or in the building at all at this point. It's just
Are we
quiet.
following Eddie or is she gone?
Eddie's gone. She
Okay.
went to stay kind of with the mourners.
I would say I'm going to say to Relnor. Sorry, had to burp. So, what do you think he wants?
I don't know.
Where's he been?
I don't know.
That's probably why we're here.
Oh man, I gotta know.
I hope he's okay.
Sounds like it. I'm glad he let everyone go.
Yeah.
We'll have to just talk to him and see what's going on and what his plans are. It seems like he's got something he's working on, but I don't know what it is.
Also, did we get rid of that weird elf guy? Or is he going to be there too? Probably not. I guess we'll find out.
Oh, they left.
You know he left with
the Inquisitors.
The Inquisitors. He's the Queen's Herald. But yeah,
That's stupid.
I thought you were going to say he's the Queen of the Inquisitors.
He could be if he wanted to be, but...
all right. Make your way up to the top. It's empty, but you guys are able to make your way the way to Harris's office. You get there, open his kind of big door, and inside, Harris and three different people are kind of standing around his desk looking at some notes and things.
Whoa.
The three people are Davi, Podge, and someone that only Winnie recognizes.
Winnie sees Podge and be like, Podge! And she screams and jumps up and just no decorum, runs and knocks him over.
Everyone
hugs
kind
him.
of recognizes you guys are there, and he's like, "Hey, Winnie,
I missed you. Oh my gosh, I was so worried. Where were you?
I miss you too. I'm doing stuff."
Oh my gosh. Did you see your house just about got knocked down though?
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
Now your folks are okay.
Where's my gnome tools?
He doesn't think to ask.
Good, because Winnie doesn't think
Winnie
to buy
didn't
them.
think to buy him. The match made in heaven. He says as you guys are kind of getting up, he's like, "I've been with Michael Reed."
Oh yeah, okay, cool.
Which Michael Reed is an incredibly dapper man standing in the room.
Ooh, dapper.
Oh, is he
He's-
the third person?
He's pretty tall, full elf, but kind of darker skin, and he's got big pointy ears. He's got a vest on with kind of a nice undershirt that's got the sleeves kind of rolled up.
Very GQ.
Yeah, very GQ. He's got very short cut hair that's kind of styled very nicely, and a couple big earrings that kind of make little clinking noises as he kind of moves his head.
Mr. Windchime.
Dangly earrings?
Not like super dangly, but
Clinky.
dangly enough that they make
Dangly
little
enough to clink.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Like they're nice. They're ornate. You know what I mean? It's not like a little loop ring that like
What are they clanking on?
Each other.
each other.
Oh, so he has wind chimes on his ears.
Yeah.
Basically.
Okay.
Good grief! Don't picture wind chimes.
Josh
I don't
just,
want wind chime art of this guy.
Josh just immediately gives up. He's like, whatever, fine.
sorry. At first, I was I was picturing diamond studs, and I was like, how do those clink?
They're a little
His
dangly.
ears are really flappy.
And then I
Let me re-explain it.
No,
Let me
it's
re-explain
fine.
it.
It's fine. Just cut it. Just cut me
It's
out.
good. No.
Okay.
Just
okay.
mute me.
All right.
Just kill me off.
Okay. So that's Michael Reed, and he's standing there, and Winnie's the only one that has previous experience with him.
Yeah. Winnie struts up and
Good
she sticks her
experience?
hand out and she goes, Michael?
Hello there, Winnie. It's good to see you again.
Hi, Billy D. Williams.
Who's Billy D. Williams?
It's Lando.
Yeah.
Billy D.
This is definitely my Billy D. Williams character.
Yes, it's great.
It's good to see you again. Been a while.
Good to see you too.
Podge here's been telling me you've been up to some crazy stuff.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So we went to the Gnome Island, right? And we were on this boat. And before we got there were these pirates and they like shot at us.
Harris gonna cut her off?
Yeah, somebody's got to cut me off.
So she's like, someone
Harris
please. Someone
coughs
please.
and I.
He just hello all.
Hi, Captain Harris. I salute.
Hi, Captain Harris.
Hi.
I salute as well.
He says,
I'm glad you're okay.
I'm all right. I'm sorry that I wasn't around when the creatures arrived.
We may do.
But it sounds like you've all been doing well the last several days.
You know,
Yeah, it's been fine.
Healthy but sad.
it's been weird.
Really
But
boring.
good. But weird.
I guess I suppose introductions are in order. This is Michael Reed. Michael Reed.
No, you had it.
Michael Reed.
This is Michael.
Michael Reed.
This is Michael Reed.
This is
Like strong Ned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is Michael Weed.
This hires. I'm going to talk like Strong Bat. You guys can't do that to me.
Sorry.
Great Stronghammer.
This
Great
is the
Stronghammer.
There you go.
Dwarf. All right. This here is Michael Reed, and he runs the black market here in Lestraad.
I turn my head and look out of the corner of my eyes at Winnie.
Why are you turning your head? And
When he
looking out
smiles,
the
one of
corner?
those one of those smiles that's like really wide, like too wide to be happy.
And he says, Now, Captain Harris. There's no need to use words like that. I'm a legitimate businessman. Either way, Harris here recruited me to help figure some stuff out after Donnie died and the attacks occurred. I must say we experienced several assassination attempts within my organization as well.
So do we know where those crazy things came from?
The big things?
The creatures.
How'd they pop up in town?
We don't know. Our best guess is it has something to do with these wizards that have turned. But I called you here for a very specific reason. I'm leaving the city. And I think you should too.
Why?
Why are you leaving? At a time like this, we need your leadership.
At a time like this, we need a leader. And the city is not going to accept me as High Captain much longer. After what I did, breaking the accord, no High Captain's done that in 500 years.
It's just a little fender bender.
No. I'm convinced.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
I don't get it.
Breaking the cord.
Yeah. Relnor is always on brand, guys. That's what you need to know. Like, that's his terrible dad jokes will never leave us until he's gone.
So roll it back.
And by
you said
he, you mean
what
Eric.
after what you did?
After your terrible joke. Yeah.
You know, have to leave too because your jokes are awful.
He says, in my conversations with Michael, I believe we've come to conclude that the act of the assassination and perhaps even the Inquisition afterwards were very strategic attempts to make several large political moves throughout the Four Kingdoms. One of which was to get me off the seat of High Captain.
So if you leave, won't that just be playing into their hands?
I can't help it.
You think it was like a chaotic coup?
If I stay,
Cuckoo.
here's the truth. If I would have let them continue to keep our wizards locked up, the city would have suffered. And likely the captains would have called for a vote of no confidence. Just at that. But because of what I done, the only way for the city to make recompense with the Four Kingdoms would be to kick me from the seat, perhaps even lock me up.
Man,
Lose.
But all those families and crews and ships are so grateful that you released their evocation wizards. I mean, at least they would pull for you, right?
The sad thing is that the public has very little sway on what's done politically.
Yeah, tell me about it.
And we need this accord. We can't afford to be at odds with the rest of the Four Kingdoms while still dealing with everything else that we're fighting.
Where will you go?
And Michael Reed kind of chimes in. He says, I've got word that Wizard Wilbert, the one who assassinated Donnie, has made his escape towards the city of Lestraad. The four of us are heading that way to try and follow him.
Well, who for?
Four? I go, wait, Davi?
Oh, I forgot
You're going
Dobby's there.
too?
Yes, I'm afraid that my ability to stay here while keeping my allegiances hidden is becoming more and more difficult. I need to be out there in the world. There are things happening, Joan.
Wait. So they all know?
They do know. Yes.
No, what?
The three of us have been coordinating together for years.
Coordinating what?
Wait a second.
We've been running missions and finding information and digging down dark holes for secrets for a long time.
Whoa.
How long has Podge been running with you then?
Podge linked up with us the same time you did,
Yeah. It's good to know.
but his skills have come quite in handy.
I didn't know Lestraad
Yeah, he's a handy guy.
has almost as many secrets as the gnomes.
My friend, there are secrets everywhere. Captain Harris kind of chimes in and says, the four of us will be heading for Lestraad. If we can catch up with Wilbert or figure out who he's working for, perhaps we can find out what's going on.
Wait. Can I just interject for a second, Captain Sir?
Absolutely.
Just keep an open mind, because I feel like we saw Terry Turducken. And he seemed to be taken over by something. I wonder if Wilbert also wasn't acting of his own volition. What if he's not working with anyone? What if he was like taken over or possessed or something creepy?
Davi kind of chimes in. She says, there's always the possibility that there's some kind of arcane force at work. But even still, our best chance would be to catch him and to see if we can ascertain what has hold of him, if that is the case.
That's true.
Yeah, I liked Wilbert. I hope he's innocent.
Sometimes people are not who they seem, little man.
Joan looks at Davi.
When he raises her eyebrow at Michael.
Wow, that was awesome.
Sorry, I just kicked the table.
Two looks.
Captain Harris kind of steps forward, kind of out of the kind of away from the group and towards Relnor, puts a hand on his shoulder and says, once I'm gone, there's two captains who have a chance of being raised up to High Captain, as far as I can see. Captain Pam and Captain Wheelia. Now, my gut says that Wheelia's going to take it. She's the oldest captain that we've got, and she's got more successful missions under her belt
And
than
she's a
any
gnome.
living captain, even myself.
Her name is fun to say.
And she's a gnome.
And you know, as well as I, if she comes to power, your chances of doing anything more than being a grunt and running terrible missions left and right are gone.
Yuck.
Do you have any recommendations as to where we should go?
High Captain Harris kind of looks over at Davi, and she says, we've been coordinating with several of our associates on the Gnome Island, and she looks at Joan. Your golem, I suppose, has been transported to a beachhead further south.
You got your goat back.
Might be wise for the four of you to at least go and inspect it. See if there is anything you can learn from the golem itself. Beyond that, with the visions you've said you've all had, we can only assume, and she looks at the rest of her group and says, there are others.
Delphin did not consider that. He is super excited.
Dalvin's gonna pass out. More goats. Oh my gosh.
Aye. But the truth is, we're probably not done with these creatures either.
Ooh.
Everything in me bones tells me that something bad has started.
Ugh.
There's someone behind all of this, and we don't know who it is.
I don't think it was me.
I don't think it is either.
Oh, good.
From what we heard, you did on the Gnome Island, he says to Joan. We're gonna need all that kind of help we could get. I don't even know if our city could withstand another attack like that.
We barely made it through one.
We need more goats.
So, I'd say go check out the golem.
Go check out the golem.
And then if you can piece together
The
those
goat
visions...
Sorry.
If you can piece together those visions and hunt down where other machinery or magic like that exists, that'd be a great help.
Oh, adventure.
I want to see the goat. I want to see the goat. I want to see the goat.
There's someone with the golem who I believe will be able to help point you on your way.
Is it Truffle?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, that doesn't bode well.
No, it's Terry. Turducken.
And his boom boom.
So they say.
Terry!
I really
Apparently
wanted
he's
Harris
been
to
wanting
say
to talk
boom boom.
to the four of you something fierce.
Out of character real quick. Joan, did you tell us about Terry?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I'm just excited.
Before anything else happens, there's something I need to do. He looks at Relnor and he says, Kneel.
I'll kneel.
Relnor Windhelm. Servant of Lestraad. Protector of your people and keeper of the sea.
Delvin's gonna cry. Delvin's so excited.
I'm excited. I'm happy for him.
happy cry.
It is with every honor and right afforded me as High Captain that I present you with your father's bow. Handcrafted, made one of a kind. Was always meant to be held by a Windhelm. I bestow it to ye now, along with the rank of Captain. To accept this, you must be ready to serve and willing to sacrifice. A leader carries the weight. Don't thrust it upon others you deem lesser. Always remember, success can only be had with sacrifice. If you sacrifice and do not succeed, then know, one coming after you will. If you succeed without sacrifice, know that there was one who sacrificed before you. He hands you the bow.
Hip hip.
Do you accept it?
I do.
Then he pulls you up in a big hug, and as he's hugging you, he says, "You have your father's blood in my heart. May the wind ever be at your back, boy, and may you break every wave." And he he says that kind of quieter when he pulls you out, one arm on either shoulder.
Well,
Huh?
he just has one hand.
He only has one arm.
Whoops!
I was gonna be like, how do you do that?
Great breaking the moment.
Sorry.
No, yeah, he with one hand on your shoulder, the other kind of what's left. He kind of pushes you out away from him.
Pokes you with his nub.
gives you a nod.
Hip, hip, hooray! Hip, hip. Oh, good job.
Davi was like raising her hands and looking at you. And she's like, oh, yeah, okay.
As my first act as captain, I get to choose my crew, correct?
Aye.
I look at the rest of the party. Joan, Delvin, Winnie,
Yes.
you're hereby assigned to my crew.
Oh, Captain!
Captain!
I snap to attention. Hand up to my head.
Sounded like you said head up to my head.
It did.
Hand up to my head. Yes, sir. Captain, sir.
Aye,
Well,
lads.
Michael Reed steps up behind Captain Harris, puts a hand on his shoulder, and says, I think it's time, Harris. We need to go. Harris takes the star pins off of his lapels, hands them to you,
Okay.
and then he pulls out a very worn blue captain's jacket. It's your dad's jacket,
Okay.
and he hands it to you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay.
It's got the stripes already embroidered in on the sides, and
Winnie hugs Podge bye.
Podge hugs you and says, be safe, Winnie.
You too, Podge. And hey, look, I got a real gut feeling about Wilbert. Don't let them shoot him on sight, okay?
I'll do what I can. He said, I'm kind of just along for the ride.
Oh, I know, but you matter more than you know, Podge. Hang in there.
Thanks, Winnie. Hey, he looks at you and he says, we helped a lot of people.
Good.
And
I think it was worth it.
you hear a kind of thumb snap, and Michael Reed turns around and looks at the two of you and says, that's right. I owe you, don't I? Your invention saved so many lives and made me a lot of money.
When he rolls her eyes.
It's only right, now that I got Podge helping me. We've learned so much. Not to mention your invention is helping clean a lot of the destroyed water sources throughout the city. It's not much, but he reaches kind of into a little pouch pocket on his vest and pulls out a little wand. I hope this will somehow pay for what I owe you, Winnie. I don't like being in debt. And he hands it to you. I know you've never really been one for combative magic, but this should help,
I'm getting better at it.
especially in a pinch.
Thanks.
So that's that. You guys say your goodbyes.
Kai hugged Davi.
Yeah, she gives you a big hug.
can I hug them while they're hugging?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Oh.
And
Just like your legs.
Davi laughs and pats you on the back there, or on the head. Yep. Then she says, young Jones, not so young anymore, are you?
I'm very old.
I suppose we're on our way then.
Tell Wilbert hi when you see him.
Harris just shakes his head. All right. And you guys all leave you guys all kind of walk down the captain's.
Relnor, you're a
building.
captain now.
You're Captain! Winnie jumps up and like hangs onto the back of his cloak and like shakes and shakes and shakes it.
Joan just smiles to herself.
All right. Do you guys head straight for the beach, or do you gather anything, or?
I'm following Relnor, but I do want to see Terry and the goat.
I came to the ceremony this morning with everything I needed, so I'm good.
Yep.
All I need are these friends.
We travel light.
All right. You guys make your way out of the city.
No one? Okay.
Dolphin's always got his scrolls. So.
I'm your friend, Joan.
Thank you. I'll just see myself out.
It'll take you about an hour's walk to get far enough out the city to where you start to see some kind of lights near the beach
Yeah.
further south. And of course you see kind of towering over some of the trees and things. There's a boat, and then there's a large boat, and then there's a big 30-foot stone golem
Whoa.
Oh my
kind of sitting on the beach there.
Joan, you were that?
Yeah.
When he takes off running towards it.
I approach it.
Down the beach.
There's a couple different like gnomes that are kind of like taking care of stuff. It seems like they just got it offloaded onto the beach. I mean, technically, would have taken them about the amount of time it's taken to the last 2 days to get it from the Gnome Island to
Do we see Terry?
the beach. And sitting around a campfire, there are a couple different gnomes, and one of them's kind of standing up with one foot on a log, and he seems to be telling a story to the rest of them. And they're
He's got a little captain in him.
Regaling them.
yeah, as they're kind of sitting all around there. And as he's talking, he pulls out the circlet sword from behind his back, and then you hear him say, "And Zutzfin, I cuts them all down with my great boom boom." And he throws it into the air, and it kind of spins around, and he catches it. Then he puts a thumbs up and winks.
And there's a little flash of light.
And then I
from
go,
the corner of his eye.
wow!
Gleam from his
He
teeth.
hears the wow, turns around, sees Winnie running towards, and he's like, "You've made it!
We made it!
Wunderbar! This is wonderful news.
Terry, we have not officially met. I carried you.
I'm very grateful for that." You actually see him. He's actually, all the tattoos that were on him are still on him.
Whoa.
They almost look like
Like a brand?
a brand. Like he's branded like
Are
with
Jones
with
too?
those symbols. No.
Oh.
We heard about Joan and you fighting the other creature.
It was a wonderful battle.
I wish I could have seen it.
I extend my hand.
I was not surprised to hear it was you. In fact, there are many things that I think you should know.
You really showed me your stuff, Terry Turducken.
Right back at you.
Fight back.
He kind of like winks.
I do not.
Crooked grin.
I do not smile. I just look at him and then I look away.
Well, we have your golem. I don't suppose you're able to bring it back to life.
Still haven't really figured out that yet.
Winnie's over by the golem, if it's in
Okay.
reachable distance. She's behind one of the legs, and she peeks her head out, and she goes, "It's huge!"
I turn and I go, "You're small."
But it's even huger!
Yeah, what kind of stable do you keep a giant stone goat in?
A giant stone one.
Where did
Right.
it come from? I mean, we didn't
Where do we
see it when
find
we
one of
were in
those?
there.
These ancient structures. I don't know the exact purpose of their creation, but I do believe that they have something to do with the creatures that have attacked our homelands.
Winnie's back over by the campfire now, by the way.
Yeah,
She's
no, that's
not
fine.
yelling anymore. So, Terry, do you remember anything from when you went down in the mines?
Good question.
The ruins?
Yeah, I remember the entire thing.
Really? What?
All except for when little Dolphin over here had thrown me off. And
Could you see anything when you were touching the statue?
What were you doing?
I was being shown visions.
Did you?
Saw a history. The history of the world.
The history of the world.
There was peculiar different peoples. They weren't human or orc or gnome. They had those angular faces and the teeth inside their mouth, like a beast.
Ooh.
But they were sentient. They were talking and speaking and intelligent, incredibly intelligent. I'm convinced that these ancient ruins are all that's left of civilizations that was far more advanced.
They
than
wrote with the
our
glyphs.
own. Yes, the glyphs, which I think you can only read when they are active.
What?
I think you cannot fully know what the writer was saying unless they are aglow.
Oh my gosh, it's crazier all the time.
You
How
were
do you-
glowing when we saw you.
How do you make them glow?
There's some trick to it, but I've yet to learn what that is.
Guess
But
it's time to figure it out.
there's something that tells me that whatever powers were behind creating these great creatures and things did not intend for me to be part of it.
Terry, I don't want to bring up like bad memories or anything, but I think at one point you said war, endless war.
Yes. There
Are you
was-
okay?
That was the world. The forgotten
a
histories of our
past
world were
war.
You saw it on fire.
on fire.
That's what I saw.
But it didn't, because
You saw them as well.
Yeah, when I punched the statue.
oh,
I forgot to mention that part.
Yeah, you did. That's okay. Probably not something you like to think about.
That was the world.
Looked hot.
It was in turmoil. Something happened to end the war and bring peace. But I do not know what it was.
I wonder if that pertains to the passage
Passage?
that Davi was talking about. The hope?
The script.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Galantis had.
Before I passed out, loss came from our choice, and a shadow fell over the world. However, a light rose like the sun and brought life once again.
I do not know if that is what it means, but we've yet to find that script written. Even if I could activate it, we don't have it, so I couldn't read it for what it means. It's just written on paper. But many of the assassins that I've heard had similar papers like this. We believe it was some sort of instruction.
Whoa.
That's so weird. When he looks up at everybody, and she's standing next to Joan, she like reaches over and slaps Joan's thigh, like the side of her leg. And she goes, "Well, let's get this puppy running."
Winnie, I don't think that's. I don't know how to.
And I'm pretty sure it's a goat.
Oh, let's get this goat running. She slaps her again.
Again, still don't know how to.
Well, we're not going to figure it out standing over here now, are we?
Nope, but I'm not sure where we are going to figure it out, so I'm just gonna. Terry, do you have food?
We do. We have some roast pig. Woo!
Oh.
There's a lot
The
of pig
bacon?
meat on Sonoma Island right now.
Perfect! I'm hungry.
Beach party!
What'd you say?
Beach
I thought you
party!
said beast party.
I did too.
That would be wonderful. Gunther,
Oh, Gunther's a good
get
one.
the good ale. We're going to party here with my friends.
Party here.
And yeah, and he's like, "You got it. You got it, Terry. You're the coolest."
Terry, I want to hear more about your stories.
I would love to tell you my stories.
also-
of which I have many. He puts a leg
also-
back up on the log, kind of looking heroic.
Great Captain Morgan style.
Yeah.
He also wants to hold your boom boom.
Would you like to hold my boom boom?
Oh my god, I would love to hold
He
your
pulls
boo-boo.
it out and kind of twirls it around on one finger. He says, "This is one of a kind. It was forged within the heart of a dying star."
Oh my gosh.
He hands it to you.
I hold it like open. I don't even close my hands. I just hold it like out.
How did
like
you
a
get it?
precious relic.
Forged with a dying star in the fires of a gold dragon, Terry's boom boom was made.
Can you really fly it?
I could fly it if I wanted to, but I don't.
Oh,
Not right now.
fair enough.
A good hero doesn't perform. They only act when is needed. Like the time when I was in the jungles of the south.
Okay, Dalvin pulls out a scrolls and starts writing things down.
He just starts engaging you in this big story of his heroics and with all his gestures and
And I'm like a
language.
kid in a candy shop, just sitting at his feet.
And you guys hang out there on the beach.
When
All
he
right.
sits happily but looks at Joan and then the golem and then back at Terry several times throughout the night.
Every
Joan,
time
golem?
I look at the golem, you look at me.
Yeah, when he looks at Joan, like, are we gonna go over there?
And the camera starts to slowly zoom out on the five of you sitting around the campfire, and the title appears, The Titans of Altera. That is the end of Act 1, everybody.
Yay!
We have our quest.
Beach
We have
party.
acted one.
We've acted one time.
So, thanks everybody for listening and for being a part of this adventure. We're going to keep going. It's going to be fun.
More goats.
So,
Relnor's
I'm
a
excited.
captain. Relnor's
Yay!
a captain.
I'm really pumped because we are now officially off any rails. Like, at this point,
Oh, yeah.
the world is open and the four
world
of
is
you
our
can kind
oyster.
of choose to
I hate oysters.
travel and go wherever
are
you want.
gross.
So I'm really pumped. This is the kind of the next step of just you guys going on adventures and discovering new people and groups and places and things. It's going to be really fun.
I'm super excited.
So thanks again, everyone, for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, if you'd enjoyed the past 11 episodes, please give us a review, a 5-star review on iTunes. That would really help get the word out about our show. You can also find us on Twitter and Facebook at the Titan Pod. And if you would like to help support the show and help us keep doing what we're doing and then do even more awesome stuff like writing the World Book, you can kind of help us. You can help support us by joining our Patreon at patreon.com/the Titan Pod. There we've got a bunch of different rewards and things, one of which is only $5. You'll be able to hear the post show, which we're going to record right after we finish recording this episode.
Can I throw out one thing?
Sure.
Like, I don't know if you've ever talked about the Discord.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a really fun part of the community.
Oh, man.
Is when you're a patron, you also get access to the Titans of Altera Discord, which we're all a part of.
Yep.
So you get to interact with us and with other people that are enjoying the show.
And they're great.
It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun theories, a lot of fun thoughts, a lot of fun.
There are a lot of fun theories.
Just really cool people.
You can get access to that for only $2.
Yeah,
so
any patron gets access to that.
Any patron at any level gets access to the Discord. So, you can do that. And we'd love to talk to you. I'd love to say hi. So, anyway, thanks so much, everybody. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you next time for the Titans of Altera. I'm your host and Dungeon Master Joshua. Going around the table, we have
Joan.
Delphin.
Winnie.
Relnor.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.